We are going to solve the question paper of this week that you have written. So let us go with the first one. What you can do as I am doing, as I am solving, is you can probably, if at all it's too fast, you can stop the video and then you can note down the answer and then maybe go for the next one. Let us go for the first question. A ball can be thrown. A boy can throw a ball 40 meter vertically upward. The greatest horizontal distance he can throw the same is. So this is the question that he has asked. 40 meter vertically upward he can throw, he says. Okay. So 40 meter vertically upward. The greatest horizontal distance he can throw the same is. So what is given first? So horizontal h is equal to u square by 2g. U square by 2g is the concept that you already know. From the formula, h equals u square sine square theta by 2g. For vertically upward, sine square theta becomes sine 90 becomes 1. So you get u square by 2g. Now he is asking horizontal distance. Horizontal distance meaning r. So how will you take r? As r can be written as, for maximum he is saying greatest. So u square sine 2 theta by g. So that becomes u square by g again. Horizontal greatest he is asking. So theta 45 consider karna hai. So u square by g has to be found. So this clearly, from this u square by g is nothing but 2 times h, which becomes this as 2 times h. H is already given, so h is 40. So 2 into 40, that is 80 meter. That will be your first answer. So I hope this question is clear. Let me come again so that you understand. Boy can throw a ball 40 meter vertically upward. He can throw 40 meter vertically upward. Yes. So the greatest horizontal distance he can. Greatest horizontal distance meaning how much can he throw the range. Okay. So greatest bola hai. As soon as he says greatest, 45 degree is what he is asking about. So you have taken h is equal to u square by 2g. From that you have found u square by g. Once you get it, in the r formula, u square sine 2 theta by g. Sine 2 theta I am not writing because at 45 it becomes 90, which is 1. So u square by g you get, that is 2 times h. Just substitute, you get the first answer. I hope this particular solution is clear. If you are satisfied, we can move to the next one. So you can note down the solution. So you have your next question. The range of a projectile when lodged at an angle, this is 15 degree, okay, with the horizontal is 1.5 kilometer. The range of projectile at an angle 45 degree, this has to be 45 degree, to the horizontal, same velocity of projection. He clearly says the velocity of projection is same. What is given? R when 15 degree is given, that is given by u square sine 2 theta by g. U square sine 2 theta by g. Sine 2 theta becomes how much? Sine 30, that is half, because 2 into 15 is 30. Sine theta becomes half. So this formula becomes u square by g into half. U square by g into half, that is equal to, he has given r15 as 1.5. So u square by g becomes 1.5 into 2, that is 3. Okay. So 3 kilometers is for sine, sorry, you are getting u square by g as 3 kilometer. Using this you can use for 45 degree. How much will it be for the 45 degree one? That let us try to find out. Okay. So 45 degree, what happens to r 45? Formula is u square by g sine 2 theta. Sine 2 theta becomes, sine 45 into 2 is 90. So this becomes 1. So u square by g itself is the answer, which is 3 kilometer that we have found out. So option 2 is the right answer. So you can just make a note of the solution that I am given. I hope this is clear. I will come again. What has he given? The range of a projectile when the angle is 15 degree is 1.5. Whenever it was 15 degree, 1.5 was the range. What will happen when it is 45 degree? That's the question. So 15 degree you substitute with the formula, and then you find sine 30 and you find u square by g from this. So once you get u square by g, you will substitute in r at an angle 45. So u square sine 2 theta by g, u square by g you got from the data given in the question. Sine 90 is 1, so you get 3 kilometer. So I hope this one is easy. Alright, let's move on to the next question. A projectile is thrown to have a maximum horizontal range on the ground. The ratio of horizontal and vertical components of its velocity. I hope you know that the range occurs maximum when theta is 45 degree, and when theta is 45, yeah, you will have ux and uy will that is equal to each other. So ux and uy will be same. So answer is 1 is to 1. So this is a simple one. When it is at 45 degree, x component and y component both will be equal. So this is a simple logical question. You don't have to work out directly. The answer is 1 is to 1. Alright, let's move on to the next question. A body is projected at an angle theta with the horizontal. As soon as you see horizontal, you can understand, you can substitute standard formulas that we have done. If it remains for a time t, that is tf actually, in air, its horizontal range r, then tan theta is. So we need to find out tan theta. How will you find out? You will take t is equal to 2u sin theta by g, and r formula is u square sin 2 theta by g. Or you can take r is equal to u cos theta into tf. Why did I consider this formula? Because tf he has told to take, yes, and there is also tan theta. Here you have sin theta. So using sin theta and cos theta, you need to bring tan theta. So that you can use, and you can go with this one and this formula. So how will you find? You will take r equals u cos theta into t f, and in this you can substitute u from this equation. How will you find cos theta into tf? Uh, Cos theta into t as it is, I'll write u. Instead of u, I'll be writing g capital T by 2 sine theta. I hope you understood. I have just rearranged. If you observe, I have rearranged this and separated u, and that I have substituted here. Okay, so what do you get? Okay, let me change. What do you get? G t square by 2 times cos by sine is cot theta you got. Okay, and this is r. So from this I wanted tan theta. So tan theta is a reciprocal of cot. So this goes down, goes there. So it becomes gt square by 2 times r. So this gt square by 2 times r, gt square by 2 times r. Okay, so I hope you have understood this particular answer. The answer is simple. In the question he has given theta, then he has told tf and also r. Using tf and r, we need to bring tan theta. So how did we bring? We took t equals to u sin theta by g, and we took r equals u cos theta into tf. In this we substituted u as from this formula. You separated u from this and you substituted it here. So what did you get? Cos theta into t as it is I wrote. Instead of u, I wrote from here gt into 2 sin theta. After that it was just simple mathematics and bringing tan theta outside. I hope this is clear. Alright, let's move on to the next question. What does the question say? A body is projected from a level ground with a velocity 30 meters per second at 30 degree. So you are going to project a body at an angle 30 degree with velocity 30 meters per second. That's what he has given. Angle made by its direction of motion 1.5 seconds after the projection. So at the initial, what is ux? 30 cos 30 degree, that is 30 cos 30 half, then root 3 by 2. 30 into root 3 by 2, so that is 15 root 3. Okay, this can also be called Vx. Okay, because horizontal component does not change, isn't it? Then comes Vy, which is after, at the motion of, it says made by its direction of motion 1.5 seconds after. So we are considering somewhere in this journey, somewhere after 1.5 seconds, we can say velocity v, which is, I am talking about Vy. Vx we have already found. Vy can be coming from the simple equation v equals u plus at. Keep that in mind. Now Vy can be written as u sine theta. U sine theta, that is 30 sine 30, u sine theta, that is initial velocity, minus g he has given 10 into t he has given 1.5. Okay, so v equals u plus at we have used, v equals u plus at we have used to find out this. To be honest, we have used Vy is equal to uy minus and ay. So I have used a component form of v equals u plus at, that is Vy equals uy plus ayt. Okay, once you get that, we have substituted uy as u sine theta. Okay, ay is minus g and t he has told 1.5 seconds, so we have taken 1.5. So now if he had given, instead of 1.5 seconds, if he had given distance for example, then you could have used v square minus u square equals 2as. So now 30 sine theta is 30 into half minus 10 into 1.5. So that is 15 minus 15, answer 0. So Vy you got 0, meaning now observe the the velocity, final velocity after 1.5 seconds I am getting as 0, vertical velocity. This is vertical component. Horizontal is constant. When does this happen? This happens when you are at mid journey, isn't it? Uh, at the maximum height, what happens is ux remains same, uy will be 0. So I hope this is understood. So the point which we were trying to talk is the maximum height, and at maximum height you have only vx and not vy. So he has told angle made by its direction of motion. What is the direction of motion? Was 30 degree initially. After projection with the horizontal, at first it was at 30 degree. After, at this point, what will be the angle? Now the complete velocity is horizontal, so angle is 0. So the angle is, theta is 0 degree. Theta is 0 degree. So I hope this particular question is clear to you guys. You can make a note. Alright, let's move on to question number 6. What does it say? A particle is projected with a certain velocity say u, so as to have the same horizontal range r. Okay, if t1 and t2 are the times taken to reach this point in two possible ways, as soon as he says certain velocities to have a same horizontal range, it is a case of complementary angles. It is a case of same horizontal range, meaning complementary angles की बात हो रही है. That means it can either be 30 or 60, something with 45 plus theta, 45 minus theta, or that I had told you before, it has to be either 30, 60, something like that. So in that, what is the correct relation? We had already proved this. R is equal to half G T1 T2 we had proved in our class. So from that you just need to take, it is 2R by G is equal to T1 T2. 2R by G is equal to T1 T2. This is directly from your notes. I hope this particular question is clear. Alright, next move on to the question number 7. At highest point of projectile, its velocity is Vx, usually Vx or Ux, is half the initial velocity is. So I'll write so that you don't get confused. I'll use Ux is equal to half is, as soon as it says, see, highest point of the projectile Ux, at this point we are talking, its velocity is का मतलब equal to the half the initial velocity, that is u. This is the answer, that is the question that he has given. At the highest point ux is nothing but u cos theta. U cos theta is equal to half times u and u cancel. Cos theta is half. When is cos theta half? When theta is 60 degree. So this is the answer. This question paper I have converted, that's why it is showing different digits. I hope you have the question paper when you are solving, so you have the right data with you. Okay, so this one was simple. Let us move on to the next question. So question number 8, he has given an equation y is equal to x minus x square by 40, and he has also mentioned g as 10. Maximum height he has asked. Whenever they give an equation like this and ask for a maximum height, the maximum height का मतलब है it is basically y, maximum value of y. So this come from your mathematics maxima problem. So how to maximize, how to find the maximum value? The simple logic is find dy by dx and equate it to 0. Find dy by dx and equate it to 0. I think this was not mentioned in class, but here you can learn dy by dx is equal to 0 करना है whenever he asks for a maximum value. So now when I do dy by dx to this equation, what does it become? It becomes 1 minus x square 1 by 40. X square का differentiation is 2x, isn't it? And this is equated to 0. Yes, so this becomes 1 minus 2 and 40 becomes x by 20 is equal to 0. So when you shift, you get 1 is equal to x by 20. So x you are getting as 20. X you are getting as 20. Substitute this x in the first equation. You get y is equal to 20 minus 20 square by 40. 20 minus 20 square by 40. Answer, 20 square is 400. 400 by 40 is 10. 20 minus 10 is 10. So y value you are getting 10. So the answer is this one. So here we did not use any of the standard formulas that we learnt in class, but we have learnt a new thing now here. The equation of trajectory, when he is given and he is asking for maximum height, we will be finding dy by dx and equating it to 0. Okay, so I hope this is clear. What did we do? The steps please note. We took dy by dx is equal to 0. We differentiated the equation and found out x value. Once we found the x value, we substituted in the main equation again and we found the y value. He had asked the y value, that's why we have found y value. Okay, so I hope this is clear. Let's move on to the next question. So look at the next question. A body is projected with a velocity of 40 meters per second. So u he has given 40 meters per second at an angle 30 degree. So theta is given. The time it takes, time has to be found out to be at a height of 20 meters. Height he has given 20 meter. G he has given. So how do you solve this problem? You can clearly take, this is a height case, meaning we had already found in the previous problems we did Vy is equal to u sine theta minus gt. This we did because last time that velocity concept was asked. This time height concept is asked. So we need to use s equals ut plus half a t square. S is equal to ut plus half a t square. To be precise, we are talking about y component, meaning along the height. So this time we are going to find the height thing. So height is 20 has given, so 20 at s. Uy, you can find it from here. Uy is equal to u sine theta. So 40 sine 30. Yes, 40 sine 30 becomes, sine 30 is half. So half of 40 is 20. Okay, so 20 into t, half gt is minus half, g value is 10 and t square. So I hope this is clear. This was an easy question. So what do you get? You just solve this equation. 5t square minus 20t, 5t square minus 20t minus 20 plus 20 equals 0. So this you just solve. 20 is equal to 20t minus 5t square. Okay, so you solve this simultaneous linear equation. I leave it to you. So the answer which you need to get at the end is t equals 2 second. T equals 2 second. I hope this is clear. So what is the concept we used? He has given at height 20 meters. When the height is 20 meters, what happen at what time it reaches? The time it takes to reach a height of 20 meters. He has not asked maximum height to directly find out. So he has asked some intermediate height. It can be anything. So we have used s equals ut plus half at square. We have applied only for y component. So you have find out uy is equal to u sine theta, and then you have substituted here in this particular equation. Okay, so I hope this is clear. Let's move on to the next question. So this particular question, 2 seconds after projection, a projectile is moving at 30 degree above the horizontal. After one more second, it is moving horizontally. The angle of projection is, so this one is a little tricky. Vertical. The first thing he has told, 2 seconds after projection, a projectile is moving at 30 degree above the horizontal. 2 सेकंड बाद 30 degree पर है. One more second, after one more second it is moving horizontally, meaning after one more second it has reached maximum height. That is what we need to understand. So this is your projectile. 2 seconds after projection, projectile is moving at 30 degree with the horizontal. Somewhere here it is moving at 30 degree, but after one more second it is reaching maximum height. It is moving horizontally. So using this, at 3 seconds you can take first, because at 3 seconds, first 2 seconds, then one more second, so 3 seconds per it is horizontal. At horizontal, meaning at maximum height, vy, let us say vy is equal to uy my v equals u plus at plus ayt. Okay, oh sorry, okay, so vy equals uy plus ayt. If you use vy becomes 0, uy is u sin theta minus gt. G he has given 10 and 3, he has told 3 seconds wala apply kiya. So vy is, I hope you understood why vy, I am telling this as vy here. Okay, at maximum height vy is 0, uy is u sin theta, ay is minus g, t is 3. So using this you get u sin theta is equal to 30. You just shift this to this side. Okay, u sin theta equals 30 from the first part of data, meaning from the actually the second part of data. Now when he told at 2 seconds, 2 seconds what is happening, again we'll apply, somewhere here we are. So again we'll say vy is equal to u sin theta minus gt. Again we are using v equals u plus at. So now what happens, vy, what happens, vy is equal to u sin theta, we already found 30 minus 10 into 2, because we are doing for 2 seconds. So what do you get? You are getting as 10 meters per second. What about Vx? Vx is always the same. Vx is nothing but u cos theta. It always the same throughout the journey. So now we have Vx and Vy. So we need to find 30 degree it makes with the horizontal, he told. In the question it told projectile is making 30 degree with the horizontal. So using that Vx and Vy, I can write tan 30 as Vy by Vx. Vy by Vx. Tan 30 is nothing but 1 by root 3. Vy I got 10. Vx is u cos theta. U cos theta, isn't it? So you're getting u cos theta as 10 root 3. U cos theta as 10 root 3. And earlier we found u sin theta as 30. U sin theta we found 30 and u cos theta we found 10 root 3. Once you get that, now you can write, when you divide these two equations, this and this, what do you get? Sin by cos, if you do tan 30, tan theta is equal to 30 by 10 root 3. 30 by 10 root 3, 3 is a, and this can be written root 3 root 3. So this and this get cancelled. Tan theta is root 3. That happens when theta is how much? 60 degree. Theta is 60 degree. So I hope you understood this particular problem. A little lengthy. Just observe what we have done. from the question point of view, he clearly told theta is equal to, he told at 2 seconds it is at an angle 30, and when you are after one more second, it told it is becoming how much? Horizontal. So using that concept, what did we do? First we told after 3 seconds we took maximum height, and we found out vy equals uy plus ayt. Using that you found u sin theta as 30. Then after 2 seconds wale case mein we applied vy equals u sin theta minus gt. We substituted from this to here, and then we found vy, and then we wrote vx. Vx remains same throughout the journey. Then after that we told tan 30, he told 30 degree banata hai, tan 30 equals vy by vx. We used this and we found u cos theta. Once you got u cos theta, earlier we had found u sin theta, that we wrote using these two. Okay, we found as tan theta is equal to this 2 divided by, actually we are doing equation 2 divided by equation 1. Okay, that's how you are finding theta as 60. So I hope this particular problem is clear. You can have a look what and all has been done. Okay, and then we can move on to the next question. All right, let's move on to the next one. Question number 11. All right, if AR and AT represent radial and tangential accelerations, the motion of a particle will be uniform circular motion. If under uniform circular motion, I gave you a note in class, yes, that speed is constant. Yes, speed is constant I had given. If speed is constant, tangential acceleration AT will be 0. Tangential acceleration AT will be 0. And I had told radial acceleration, I told in class to put as another name of centripetal acceleration, and we found the formula for centripetal acceleration. AC is equal to v square by r. AC is equal to v square by r. We have already found this, so it is not 0. So clearly the option is option number 3, where a radial is not 0 and AT is 0. So this is from your note which I got. I told you they'll ask questions from theoretical point of view also, so you need to be ready. And also radial, those who don't know radial means centripetal, again they will lose this question. Okay, so this was simple. You can just go through the note that I gave in class. Okay, next up, let us move on to question number 12. Two bodies are projected at an angle theta and 90 minus theta, complementary angle wala case hai, and we have already found written notes on this. To the horizontal with the same horizontal also he has told, that means our formulas are right, we can use them. Same speed, the ratio of their time of flight is, tan theta is to 1. We have already done this in class, so I hope I don't need to find this out. Yes, so this is clear. Next, let us move on to the next question. Question number 13. Okay, have a look. Okay, a wheel is rotating at 900 rpm. Yes, when the power is cut off, it comes to rest. It is already running at 900 rpm, omega naught comes to rest, omega f 0. Okay, now time taken 1 minute. So time taken is 1 minute, that is 60 seconds. Okay, and what has it told? Angular retardation meaning alpha. So I had told, I had given you this as a work to write down the kinematic equations for circular case. So if you use a is equal to v minus u by t, v is omega f minus omega naught by t. If you use 0 minus, okay, first omega naught is 900 rpm. RPM, remember, should be converted to radians, so that will be 30 radians per second. Okay, so rotations per minute converted to radians per second, simple is per minute है यहाँ पर, so divided by 60 करो. rotations per minute. 900 divided by 60, you need to do it. Check. So omega naught to be converted, how do I convert 900 radians per minute into radians per second is multiplied by 2 pi by 60. Remember this, when you're converting rpm to radians per second, you need to multiply by 2 pi by 60. 2 pi by 60. So rotation you can remember 2 pi 360 degree leta hai, per minute is coming as divided by 60. So when you solve this, you get 30 pi radians per second. 30 pi radians per second. You can cancel and try. So 0 minus 30 pi by 60 seconds. So that is 30 pi by 60. That is pi by 2 radians per second square. So pi by 2 radians per second square. What happened to minus sign? Already told, it is retardation. So since he has not mentioned minus, so you can directly take pi by 2 as the retardation. Okay, radians per second square. What did we learn here? A new thing. This formula I had already told. This you will get from converting v equals u plus at as a equals v minus u by t. That will be converted to circular motion. Wf omega f minus omega naught by t is equal to alpha. So that was easy. But here we learnt how to convert rpm to radians per second. rpm to radians per second. I hope this is clear. Let's move on to the next one. Question number 14. So let us move on to the next one. Horizontal range of a body projected with velocity u equals 10 is twice the maximum height. Horizontal range is twice the maximum height. Horizontal range is twice the maximum height. This is the formula. So r equals 2h he has given. R formula is u square sine 2 theta by g is equal to 2 times height, u square sine square theta by 2g, isn't it? So you solve u square, all this gets cancelled. You get 2 sine theta cos theta is equal to sine square theta. This also gets cancelled. 2 is equal to sine by cos tan theta you get. So 2 you got tan theta as 2. So tan theta is opposite by adjacent. Opposite by adjacent you get. So that we have got 2 by 1, isn't it? So opposite and adjacent we got for a triangle. If you get theta, opposite is 2, adjacent is 1. Hypotenuse we need to find. Hypotenuse will be root of 2 square plus 1 square. So that is root 5. So answer root 5 is here. From this you get sine theta as opposite by hypotenuse root 5. Cos theta as adjacent by root 5. Okay. So now we have in the range formula sine 2 theta. It is 2 sine theta cos theta. 2 sine theta cos theta. Solve this, you get 4 by 5. 4 by 5. Now the range formula r equals u square sine 2 theta by g. U square sine 2 theta by g. This now you can solve. 10 square by 10 sine 2 theta is 4 by 5. You solve this, you get 8 meter. So I hope this question had a little bit of mathematics involved. Just check. He gave the solution r equals to h. From that we substituted the formulas and we found out tan theta as 2. After that comes mathematics. Tan theta is opposite by adjacent. 2 and 1 we got. So opposite adjacent we wrote. We found out the hypotenuse using hypotenuse equals root of side square plus side square. From that we wrote what is sine theta, what is cos theta. Then we found out sine 2 theta. Why did we find out sine 2 theta? To substitute in this formula r equals u square sine 2 theta by g. So when you do that, you get this answer. I hope this particular one is clear. You can make a note, then we'll move on to the next one. Alright, let's move on to the next one. Question number 15. Question number 15 is, the speed of a projectile at its greatest height is 10 meters per second. If it stays in air for 5 seconds, the horizontal range is, at highest point, horizontal velocity is 10, ux is 10 he has given, okay, at highest point. Then time of flight he has given 5 seconds, okay. Range is given by ux into tf, so directly the answer is 50 meters. I hope this was easy. Okay, let us move on to the next one. Question number 16. Vector p makes angle alpha beta gamma with xyz, then sine square alpha plus, this is not sine 2, this is actually sine square alpha plus sine square beta plus sine square gamma. If you see your notes, we had given this answer as 2. We had done cos square alpha plus cos square beta plus cos square gamma as 1. When you substitute cos square as 1 minus sine square and do it, you will get 3 minus 1, that is 2. Okay, so this is simple. I hope this is understood. Next, we will speed up a little because we have already done with around 40 minutes of the 35 to 36 minutes of the class. We are still not done even 20 questions. Yeah, so we'll speed up wherever necessary. Now, question number 17. A body is projected from ground with velocity ai cap plus bj cap meters per second. If the range is twice the maximum height attained, if the range is twice the maximum height, if the range is twice the maximum height, and when he has given as ai cap plus bj cap, we have range formula as 2ab by g and height formula as b square by 2g. Okay, if you know this much, then you can find out. Okay, so r, you'll substitute 2ab by g is equal to 2 times the height, 2 times the height matlab 2 times b square by 2g. 2 get cancelled, g gets cancelled, b gets cancelled once, so you get 2a is equal to b. 2a is equal to b. Option 3 is the right answer. So this is directly formulas. R equals 2ab by g and h is equal to b square by 2g. When did we use this? When he has given velocity as ai cap plus bj cap, ai cap plus bj cap. Okay, so there are a few questions which you learn as you solve the problem. So these are new formulas. You can just have a look at it and also go through the module so that you understand how these formulas come. Okay, so this, let's move on to the next one. Question number 18. Question number 18. Body is projected horizontally from the top of a tower. So now we are entering the horizontal projection concept. Okay, with 30 meters per second. U is 30 meters per second. If g is 10, the velocity of that body after 4 seconds. Horizontal velocity we already have, ux is equal to 30 meters per second. What is the velocity after 4 seconds? Vy is equal to v is equal to u plus at. If you use uy, remains the same, isn't it? v equals u plus at, we can use and solve. Try to do it. V equals u plus at and solve. So ux you have 30. Velocity of the body after 4 seconds, मतलब कहीं पर भी वो आ जाए, ux remains the same, uy will be downwards, vy, vx remains the same. Vy is equal to uy plus gt, isn't it? So here uy is 0 because horizontal projection hai, so this is 0 plus half plus gt, 10 into 4, so that becomes 40. So you have ux or vx as 30 like this, and you have vy as 40 like this. Why I didn't use minus gt, here you will understand, because velocity components निकालने हैं, ठीक है? तो 30 ऐसे रहेगा, 40 will be downwards, so you need to find resultant velocity, that is vx square, vx square plus vy square. So vx is 30 square plus 40 square you will find, and you will write the answer, that is coming to 2500, that is 50. Answer comes to 50. So I hope this is clear. What did we do? A project. It is projected with from the top of a tower horizontally. So ux or vx is 30. If g equals 10, what is the velocity of the body after 4 seconds? V equals u plus at use किया, vy equals uy plus gt, and vy has been taken, uy is 0, substitute gt, g is 10, t is 4. Even if you take minus gt, the answer will be minus 40, showing downward direction. And once you write the, once you visualize it like this, okay, so 30 इधर है, 40 इधर है, resultant should come somewhere like this. So obviously squaring and adding, minus 40 भी ले लेंगे तो square होके positive होगा, आंसर 50 meters per second आएगा. I hope this is clear. Let's move on to the next one. So look at this, a body is projected horizontally. As soon as it says horizontally, vx, ux, both are 9.8 as given. The time elapsed before the vertical component of velocity is twice the horizontal velocity. Vertical component of velocity, Vy. Alhamdulillah. So elapsed before the vertical component of velocity is twice the horizontal velocity. Twice the horizontal velocity. So Vy is equal to 2 times Vx. That is what he has given. So we know Vx he has already given 9.8 that we have written. Vy formula is gt, because uy is 0, v equals u plus at, u goes away, so you get only gt. So you can write gt is 9.8 times t is equal to 2 times vx is 9.8 already written. So you cancel, you get t is equal to 2 seconds. So there is a straightforward question. What did you understand here? I'll repeat. As soon as he told a body is projected horizontally from the top of a hill, horizontally बोलते ही vx ux दोनों same रहेंगे. 9.8 what he has given. Time elapsed before the vertical component of velocity is twice the horizontal velocity. Vertical component of velocity is vy is equal to twice, 2 times the horizontal velocity vx. Vy is equal to 2vx. Vy from the formula v equals u plus at, you get vy is equal to gt because uy is 0. This is how you solve this particular question. Okay, let's move on to the next one. So look at the question. An aeroplane flying horizontally at a height of 1.96 kilometers. 1.96 kilometer. Aeroplane is flying at 1.96 kilometers. That can be converted 196 into 1.96 into 1000. Correct? So 1960 आएगा. 1960 meters it is flying with a velocity 300 meters per second. With a velocity 300 meters per second. This is the velocity of the aeroplane. Okay. Drops a bomb when it is exactly above point A. Okay, it is for example dropping bomb here and is exactly at point A. The bomb strikes the target at a point B on earth. When it starts leaving here, okay, it takes horizontal projectile and meets somewhere at point B. He is asking what is the distance between A and B. So the answer is simple. H is equal to 1.96 kilometer can be converted to 1960. This has been done. Then H is equal to half gt square. U क्या हो गया 0 because we are dropping the bomb. Mind you, the velocity 300 is the velocity of the aeroplane. Bomb is being dropped downwards with velocity 0. To be actually honest, this is uy. Okay, uy is 0 because we are talking about height. Ux actually is 300 meters per second. Uy is 0 because when you are dropping the bomb, vertical velocity when the aeroplane is flying, horizontally its velocity is 300. Vertically, we have no nothing. We are dropping, so the velocity is uy 0. So h equals half gt square. You find t square from this, so you solve this. You have to get 20 seconds as the answer for t. Okay, so t you get 20 seconds. After you solve that, then you go for horizontal distance. Horizontal distance, let us say x between these two. x is equal to u cos theta, that is actually 300 this time, because horizontal velocity is 300 multiplied by the time you got. So answer you are getting 6 kilometers. 6 kilometers. I hope this answer is understood. Okay, so you can make a note. Simple logic. H is equal to half gt square was used, and time was found out. Then horizontal range, x is equal to r is equal to ux into t we used to do. Here it is u into t, because we are projecting itself horizontally. I hope this is clear. Let's move on to question number 21. So question number 21, ball is thrown horizontally from a top of a tower with a speed of 12.5. Strikes the ground 75 meters away from the tower. 75 meters away from the tower, I can say it is horizontal distance or range. If g equals 10, height of the tower is. So g equals 10, height of the tower is. So how will you find? So first you will find time. Time equals distance by speed. Distance is 75, speed is 12.5. Okay, you solve this, you get 6 seconds. Once you get that, height can be given as h is equal to half g t square. Yes, half gt square. You solve, you get 180 meter as the answer. 180 meter as the answer. So this was straightforward. We have used time equals distance by, you know that velocity or speed equals distance by time. We are talking about horizontal cases. टाइम में तो x नहीं आता, तो ux was given and x was given any distance. So this was ux, yes, and this has been given. So time was found out like this. Speed equals distance by time formula. Once you found time, h equals half gt square, because when it is falling like this, the height of the tower, h is equal to half gt square. Vertically the velocity is 0, so s equals ut plus half at square. Ut becomes 0 because uy is 0. I hope this is clear. Let's move on to the next question. Question number 22. Question number 22. A body is released from height h above the ground, which takes t seconds to reach the ground. The position of the body after t by 2 seconds. Yes, initially h can be taken half gt square. After t by 2, distance fallen will be s is equal to half g t by 2 the whole square. Just finding out how much you are getting. gt square by 4. gt square by 4, that is nothing but initial के हिसाब से h by 4. Yes, so height above ground he has asked. Yes, the position of the body after t by 2. So that height above ground will be h minus h by 4, that is 3h by 4. 3h by 4 above ground. ठीक है, so you need to visualize this. A body is released from height h above the ground. Body is released, which takes t seconds to reach the ground. The position of the body after t by 2 seconds. t by 2 seconds पर वो कहाँ होगी? तो पहले मैंने कहा I told h equals half gt square. Then we found out how much displacement it has moved in time t by 2. So half gt square, gt by 2 the whole square. You got gt square by 4, which is nothing but h by 4. So 1/4 the distance it traveled from above. So from below, from the ground, it is h minus h by 4, that is 3h by 4. So after half the time, it has only traveled 1/4 of the total height. The remaining 3 by 4 of the total height, it is traveling in the remaining half time. Now you may ask, sir, half time, so half distance it should have moved. So actually acceleration due to gravity plays the role. It is at 9.8 meters per second square. So based on that, proportionally it is falling. So as it falls, it increases its velocity, isn't it? Acceleration increases, its velocity keeps increasing. So in the starting, it is moving, it is slowly increasing its velocity. So it is traveling h by 4 in half the time. Remaining 3h by 4, it is traveling in the next half of the time. Okay. Question number 23. Question number 23. A body is released from certain height above the ground, falls through a distance h in first t seconds. In the first t second, In the next second, it falls through a distance of, distance in the first t second, how much h, that can be taken as half gt square. Okay, after t second, the velocity can be written as how much how much will you take? First distance in the first t seconds, I can write h is equal to half gt square. Okay, the velocity after t seconds, after t seconds, what happens? V can be taken as gt, or it can also be taken as root 2 gh. Both formulas apply. If you use v equals u plus at, you get gt. If you take v square minus u square equals 2as, you get root 2 gh. Okay, so in the next second, it falls through a distance of, so distance in the next 1 second, s is equal to v plus g by 2. So you get root 2gh plus g by 2, root 2gh plus g by 2. So if you have not understood this, let me do it in another way. At the first, it is falling freely, isn't it? So v is equal to u plus at becomes gt. Yes. Now after 1 second, now it is freely falling. For example, it is falling like this. Yes, it is freely falling. At any time, the velocity is gt. Okay, after 1 second, meaning the next 1 second, okay, next 1 second, this becomes initial velocity. So now after 1 second, I can write next 1 second, what happens? S equals ut plus half gt square. U is what? This time it is gt. Yes, plus half g t square. So how much do you get? Gt into 1, next 1 second, na? So 1 I will substitute. Here also 1. So how much will you get? Gt plus g by 2. Gt plus g by 2 you get. So this is like distance in the next 1 second is nothing but is equal to distance due to velocity it already has plus extra distance due to gravity. So extra distance due to gravity is g by 2 and gt from the first. So g by 2 plus gt. Gt we already know, it can be written as, here I have shown root 2 gh. That's why we have taken root 2 gh plus g by 2. I hope this question is done. Question number 24. Let's move on to question number 24. Read the question. So in this question, in the last second of free fall बोल रहा है u equals 0. A body covered 3/4 of its total path in the last second. Then the height from which the body is released is, बॉडी है जो रिलीज हुई है इन द लास्ट सेकेंड ऑफ फ्री फॉल, लास्ट सेकेंड समझो यहाँ पर है. ओके, इट इज़ कवरिंग 3/4 ऑफ द टोटल पाथ. तो अगर यहाँ से यहाँ तक हाइट h है, it is covering 3/4, sorry, so this will not be the bracket, 3/4 of h it is covering in the last second. Okay, so what then the height from which the body is released, तो height पहचानना है. Okay, so let us say the total time जो ले रहा है, let us say it is capital T. Okay, distance in the last second, Sn formula, Sn equals u plus a by 2, u already 0, so a by 2 is g by 2 into 2n minus 1 I usually take. ठीक है, 2n minus 1, let us say 2t minus 1 I am taking because time we have taken as 2t as t. Okay, so once this is done, now we move on to total height का formula क्या होगा, h is equal to half g t square. Last second itself is t na. So h is equal to half gt square, t is total time, sorry, so half gt square we are taking. After taking half gt square and this, now he has told last second distance g by 2 into 2t minus 1, distance in the last second is equal to 3/4 times the total distance, half g t square. I hope you understood this. The last second of free fall, body covered 3/4 of the total path. Last second में, in the last second, what did you get? the last second you got, just a minute, this is irritating. Last second is g by 2 into 2t minus 1. 3 by 4th of total distance is half gt square. So using this particular equation, now you can solve. So when you solve this equation, t you will get as 2 seconds. So from that, once you get t equals 2 seconds, h is equal to half gt square, half g 9.8, t square is 2 square. So 1 2 gets cancelled with this. So 2 times to 9.8, 19.6 is the answer. 19.6 will be your answer. I hope you have understood this particular question. Let's move on. A boy throws a stone vertically up and catches it after time t seconds. Then maximum height reached by the stone is. Time of flight, t is equal to 2u by g. Time of flight, u. Time of flight is equal to 2u by g. u is equal to gt by 2 आ गया. Okay. Maximum height, h is equal to u square by 2g. u square by 2g. So g square t square by 4 into 2g. Correct. gt square by 8. gt square by 8 will be the answer. gt square by 8. So this was easy. Let's move on to the next one. Question number 26. Please have a look. When a body is projected vertically up, it crosses point P and Q with velocities v1 and v2 while traveling in upward direction. Okay. If r is the midpoint of P and Q, its velocity at r is. So this is a little bit tricky question. So how will you find this? The concept is when a body is projected vertically up. Okay, I am projecting something vertically up. It crosses points P and Q with velocities v1 and vq while traveling upwards. Okay, let us say P and Q, when it is traveling upwards, okay, it is traveling with velocities v1 and v2. If r is the midpoint of P and Q, r is the midpoint of P and Q, its velocity at r is. r पे velocity पहचानना है. So how will you find it? R is the midpoint he has told. So clearly v square is equal to u square minus 2gh or s. Okay, v square minus u square equals 2as. V square equals u square plus 2as. A is minus g because it is projected upward. So r, since it's midpoint, I can write vr is equal to v1 square plus v2 square by 2. So if you take root this side, you get vr is equal to root of v1 square plus v2 square by 2. So option 4 is the right one, with v1 square plus v2 square by 2 under root. Okay, so you can use this, or you can solve manually also. Check with your module once again. I hope you will get this. Okay, so this thing when you do manually, actually how you do it is, point P is there, Q is there, and R is there. R is the midpoint. Okay, let us say traveling distance x. So what you do is you apply v square equals u square plus 2as twice, once for P and R and then for R and Q. Okay, then you get vr square is equal to v1 square minus 2gx, and again vq square is, or v2 square equals vr square minus 2gx. Okay, then you solve these two equations, then you add up, then you come to this problem. So don't have to go through the derivation right now. Let us move on to the next one. Question number 27. Two forces each of magnitude f have a resultant of same magnitude f. The angle between the two forces is. So I think this we had done. Theta equals 120 I had given in the notes. Okay, when the resultant is equal, and two forces each of magnitude f, two vectors having equal magnitude have the resultant also equal to the same, then the angle between the forces is theta equals 120. I think we have done this in the class. Okay, let us move on to the next one. Question number 28. Which of the following is largest when the height attained by the projectile is largest? When the height attained is largest, okay, height attained is largest. Maximum height is attained when theta is 90 degree. Okay, the range becomes 0, correct. Time of flight becomes maximum because it is going up, above and coming down. Okay, angle with the vertical, angle of projection with vertical, theta will be 0. वर्टिकल से मतलब इस तरह फेंका जा रहा है, so angle with y axis will be 0. Okay, so hence only time of flight is largest, so time of flight is the answer. Okay, so let's move on to the next question, question number 29. Question number 29, if you see, consider the following statement A and B, statements A and B, and identify the correct option is. A says if y is equal to ax minus bx square represents the path of the projectile, the square of the time of flight is, square of the time of flight is 2a square by gb, he is saying. Okay, so how do you get this? Y is equal to ax minus bx square का statement, y is equal to a की जगह tan theta दिया था पहले, g times x square by 2 u square cos square theta, we are done in class. Yes, so when you solve this, you get t square is equal to 2a square by gb square. आप t निकाल लो, जो मैंने that the formula which I had given for t, and just square it. Okay, so a is true. Okay, what about b? The angle between the minimum velocity and the acceleration due to gravity is pi by 2 for a projectile. Angle between minimum velocity कहाँ पर होगी? Maximum height पे होगी, isn't it? And the acceleration due to gravity is pi by 2 for a projectile. At the highest point, velocity is horizontal, gravity is vertical, so theta is right. So basically both A and B are true. I hope this is understood. This was an easy one. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Question number 30. Two forces 3 Newton and 2 Newton are at an angle theta such that the resultant is R. The first force is now increased to 6 Newton without changing the direction, then the resultant becomes 2R. The value of angle between two forces theta is. So how will you find F1, F2? It is given. Okay, R square is equal to how much? How will you take this? Angle theta such that the resultant is R. The first force is now increased to 6 Newton without changing the direction, and the resultant becomes 2R. The value of angle between the two forces is. So you just need to calculate. Use R is equal to root of F1 square plus F2 square plus 2 F1 F2 cos theta, and you need to solve. So how do you do? R equals F1 square plus F2 square plus 2 F1 F2 cos theta करेंगे, R square ले लें तो राइट हैंड साइड भी F1 square plus F2 square plus 2 F1 F2 cos theta. F1 square is 9 plus F2 square is 4, 3 square plus 2 square plus 2ab becomes 2 3s are 6, 6 2s are 12, so 12 cos theta, we don't know theta, so R square you are getting 13 plus 12 cos theta. After this you are increasing the first force to 6 Newton, so new force is F1 dash, for example, is 6 Newton. Understand, he has told increased to 6 Newton. If he had told increased by 6 Newton, then you would have added 3 plus 6. Now it is increased 2, so you have to just take F1 as 6. So the new R, what will happen? It is 2 times R, he says. Okay, the resultant becomes 2R. So 2R the whole square is equal to the new values. If you put 6 6 36 plus 2 square 4. So answer you get 40 plus 2ab, 2 into 6 into 2, you get 24 cos theta. So you get these two equations. Now you just put one in the other. 2 into you just solve these things. 2 square na, so you get 2 square as 4. R square की जगह पर you can write 13 plus 12 cos theta is equal to 40 plus 24 cos theta. Now you simplify and you find theta, you have to get 120 degree. Okay. It's a physical mathematical part, that's why I'm leaving it. Okay, now move to the question number 31. A particle starts moving from rest with uniform acceleration. From uniform acceleration, it travels a distance x in the first 2 seconds and a distance y in the next 2 seconds. Okay, so first 2 seconds के लिए डाल दें. First 2 seconds x is equal to half a t square is 2 square, you get 2a. Okay, the next 2 seconds y is equal to, next 2 seconds will be half a total time minus half a, again 2 square. Okay, 8a minus 2a, that is 6a. Clear? So what did I do? Just understand. I'll finish it off first. X is 2a, y is 6a. The answer, y is equal to 3 times x. Y is equal to 3 times x. Now let me explain how we did it. Particle starts moving from rest, u0 ले लिया, and with uniform acceleration, a is constant. It travels a distance x in the first 2 seconds. First 2 seconds, x is equal to half at square. Okay, u is 0 anyway, x is equal to half at square. This you understand. 2a you get in the in the first 2 seconds, and distance y in the next 2 seconds. In the next 2 seconds he travels y, matlab in the next 2 seconds, first 2 seconds it is traveling x, next 2 seconds it is traveling y. Okay, so y, what I did, I took the whole that it travels, total 4 seconds minus the next 2 seconds, I'll get this y. So this is like, I hope you remember Bangalore, Hoskota, Kolar. Okay, y is taken as total minus this distance. Okay, so total minus this distance, sorry. So when you do it, you got 6a. You took the difference, you have understood clearly, it is the answer. Okay, you can note it down, we'll move forward. Let's move to question number 32. A stone thrown vertically upward from the top of a tower with an initial velocity u reaches the ground with a final velocity 3u. The height of the tower is, initial velocity is u, final velocity 3u. Okay, so v square equals u square plus 2as. V square equals u square plus 2as. V is 3u u square and 2gh. You need to find h. 2gh is equal to u square इधर जाएगा, 3 u square becomes 9u square minus u square becomes 8u square. So h is equal to 2 1s are 2 4s are 4u square by g. 4u square by g. So this was simple. Okay, v square minus u square equals 2as use किया है, and we have solved the question. Okay. Let's move on to the next question. Question number 33. Okay, what does question number 33 say? From a place where g equals this much, a stone is thrown up with a velocity 4.9 meters per second. The time taken for the stone to return to earth is, u is given. Okay, g is given, u and g is given. Time taken is 2u by g. Straightforward formula. You get 2 into 4.9 by g 9.8. Correct. So 1s are 2s are and cancels, you get 1 second. Okay, this one was simple. Let's move on to the next question. Question number 34. Question number 34. Horizontal and vertical displacement x and y of projectile at a given time t are, x is equal to 60, y equals 8t minus 5t square. The range of the projectile in meter. So this question, how will you do? X is equal to 80, y is equal to 8t minus 5t square. Already I had given this in your notes. Ux will be 6, uy will be 8. Yes, from the equations. And time of flight 2 times uy by g you put, that is 16 by 10, 1.6 seconds. R is ux into time of flight, so ux is how much? 6 into 1.6, answer 9.6 meter. So you use the standard equations that I had given, you can get the answer. Okay, now let's move to the next one. Question number 35. For a projectile, the ratio of maximum height reached to the square of flight time is, maximum height h equals u square sine square theta by 2g, time of flight 2u sine theta by g. Okay, now t square he told, so t square, okay, we'll do it separately only. T square will be how much? 4 u square sine square theta by g square. Okay, so h is to how much? H is to t square, we need to do h divided by t square. When you do u square sine square theta by 2g divided by 4u square sine square theta by g square, sine square u square cancel, and then how much will you get? So you get ऊपर 1 बचा 2 into 10 जी का, इंटू इसका उल्टा करेंगे, जी स्क्वायर इज 10 स्क्वायर by 4, correct? So 10 gets cancelled, you get 10 by 2 4s are 8, 10 by 8 you get, so you get 2 5s are 2 4s are 5 is to 4 is the answer. Okay, so I hope this is easy. You can make a note, we'll move forward. I'll try to wind up in another 15 minutes, so this might be, it's already 1 hour 12 minutes. We'll try to finish this off in 1.5 hour class. Okay. So even if you are not able to watch the video properly in the smart board, still I think you can follow with the answers if you have the question paper in front of you, because every step I am giving, I am even dictating it so that you can listen clearly. Okay, well, let's move forward. Question number 36. Question number 36. A stone is projected with a velocity u at an angle theta with the horizontal. It reaches a maximum height h1. When it is projected with a velocity u at an angle pi by 2 minus theta with the horizontal, reaches maximum h2. The relation between horizontal range of the projectile h1 and h2 is. So you need to find the result. Range you need to find. h1 is u square sine square theta by 2g. h2 is u square sine square की जगह we'll take cos square theta by, why? Because he has told 90 minus theta. Okay, sine 90 minus theta is cos theta. Okay, it becomes cos square theta. So this h1 and h2 you have got. When you multiply, what will you get? h1 h2 if you multiply. So if you take h1 h2 multiplication, you will get u square sine square theta by 2g into u square cos square theta by 2g. So when you multiply this, so how will you solve? You are trying to bring sine theta cos theta so that you bring range. Okay, so you get u square, if you take root of h1 h2, you get u square sine theta cos theta by 2g. Okay, you shift to that side because u square sine 2 theta by g is the answer, isn't it? So you shift that side, you get, I'm writing downwards, 2 times root h1 h2 is equal to u square sine theta cos theta by g. Okay, multiplied by 2 on both sides, you get 4 root h1 h2 is equal to 2 u square Sine theta cos theta, that becomes sine 2 theta by g. U square sine 2 theta by g, that is nothing but r. So from this you get the relation 4 times the equation 1, that is r equals 4 root h1 h2 is the answer. So this was a typical one. I hope you have understood. You just had to bring r formula in it. Question number 37. When a projectile is at its greatest height, then components of its velocity is 0. Who? It is vertical component. Yes. Let's move on to the next question. Question number 38. The velocity time graph of a body moving in a straight line is shown in the figure. The displacement and distance traveled by the body in 6 seconds are respectively 6 seconds. Okay, distance and displacement. So the velocity time graph is given. How will you find it? So from the graph, 0 to 2 seconds velocity is 4. 0 to 2 seconds velocity is 4. Okay, distance is 8 meter. Velocity into time you do, distance is 8 meter. Then 2 to 4 seconds velocity is -2. Yes. Again distance, okay, I'm writing dist instead of, again you will get confused. How much? 2 to 4 seconds, distance becomes again 4 meter. Then displacement will be -4. 4 to 6 seconds, what is happening? 4 to 6 seconds velocity is 2. So what happens to distance? Distance is again 4. Displacement is also 4. So total distance is 8 minus 4 plus 4. Answer is 8. Similarly, total displacement you can calculate. Sorry, this total displacement, this is total displacement, 8 minus 4 plus 4. Total distance 8 plus 4 plus 4, that is 16 meters. So our option is option number 1, 8 and 16. So this is simple calculation from your graph. Just check and keep doing. Velocity into time gives distance, just multiply. Okay, you'll get displacements and distances. If it is positive, take positive. If it is negative, take negative. Distance, everything you will write positive. Displacement, if it is negative, you will take negative value. That's all is this. So observe, then we'll move on to the next question. Okay, let's go to the next question. A body is projected vertically up from the ground on reaching the greatest height. So what is the answer? At highest point velocity is 0. Vertically up बोल रहा है, highest point पे velocity 0 हो जाता है. ठीक है. Acceleration is -g throughout. Yes. So its velocity is 0 and acceleration is not 0. On reaching the greatest height, velocity is 0, acceleration is not 0 because g is always working. Its acceleration is 0 हो नहीं सकता. Both velocity and acceleration are non-zero. Velocity 0 होती है, everyone knows. Both velocity and acceleration are 0. This also is not possible. So only possible is option 1. Let's move on to question number 40. A body is projected vertically up from the ground. Distance traveled by it in the last second of its upward journey. Yes, distance traveled by it last second before reaching maximum height, isn't it? So I can write S is equal to u minus g by 2. S is equal to u minus g by 2. So the answer 1, more if initial velocity is more. Yeah, so this is how you can get it. Let's move on to question number 41. A body is projected Body is projected into air from ground at an angle theta to the horizontal. On reaching the highest point above the ground. Yes, just read the question. So this one, all you need to understand theta with the horizontal. So this time he is talking about projectile motion. At maximum height, you still have a horizontal component that you need to understand. So its answer is velocity is not zero and acceleration is also not zero. So option 3 is the right answer. So this was simple. Okay, let's move on to question number 42. So the area of a parallelogram whose sides are represented by the vectors j plus 3k cap, I plus 2j minus k. Yeah, area of a parallelogram is given by a cross b, vector a cross b with magnitude, isn't it? So you already have here for vector a, you have 0, 1 and 3 ijk's. Okay, and vector b, you have how much? 1, 2 and minus 1. These are the coefficients. Now just use a cross b by putting that I, j, k plus minus and plus 0, 1, 3, 1, 2 minus 1 and solve. You get a cross b. I am writing directly a cross b. You get minus 7i plus 3j minus k, and then you find a cross b ka magnitude, root of this squares, so you get 49 plus 9 plus 1. So the answer you get root 59. Root 59. I hope this is clear. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Question number 43. The nature of a graph drawn between displacement in nth second and n when body starts from rest is. Yeah, so how will you solve this? So the answer, body starts from rest, he says. So u is 0. So what you do, Sn is equal to u plus a by 2 into 2n minus 1 is the formula. U gets away. So how do you solve this after this? Okay, let me just adjust now. Sn is equal to a by 2 into 2n minus 1, which is nothing but an minus a by 2. Yes, Sn is equal to an minus a by 2. This you compared with y equals mx plus c. So y you are getting as Sn and x you are getting as n. So it's a straight line. This much you understood because it can be compared to y equals mx plus c. And here y-intercept we are getting minus a by 2, that is c. Okay, so straight line with negative y axis intercept is the answer. Y equals mx plus c कुछ ऐसे होता है, ठीक है, and negative y axis intercept, so the negative y axis will be like this, so something like this. Again in the class, if you want, I will explain this. Okay, next one. Question: the location of particle has changed. What can we say about the displacement and distance covered by the particle? Location of a particle has changed. If the location has changed, what can we say about displacement and distance covered? So the answer this will be 1 may be 0, we can't tell that. Both may be 0 also, we can't tell. It has only told location has changed. Okay, so neither can be 0 is the right answer. Neither can be 0. Okay, last one. A body can't have a constant speed and varying velocity. This is possible because we have learned uniform circular motion. What about the next? Acceleration and constant speed. Again, this is in uniform circular motion. Then constant velocity and varying speed. This is not possible. Constant velocity and varying speed. This is not possible. Constant velocity will always give constant speed. Constant velocity will always give constant speed. Okay, non-zero speed and zero acceleration possible. Again, uniform straight line motion. uniform straight line motion, it is possible. Okay, so the third answer is the thing. Body cannot have constant velocity and varying speed. That finishes one question paper. So in this, a few things that you understand was, number one, every time you solve an MCQ, you learn something new. Yes, if it is easily digestible, what you need to do is, if it is easily digestible, then ignore or just write and leave. But if it is not easy, put it in your notes. Okay, so every time you learn, when you solve MCQs, you learn something new. If it is easy, and it has registered in your brain, so you don't have to write it. But if you find it a little different or something which requires a little bit to work on, so put it a habit to put it in your notes. And also, I have also already told you before also, you need in your classwork, always in the last page, from the last page, you need to have a formula list. The formulas in that should not be copied from anywhere, but whatever you learn, any new formula comes into picture, you need to note it down there. Okay, later we can decide which formulas to by heart, which formulas to solve and get it later. Okay, so I hope this particular class is clear. We have solved all the questions in this class. Just watch the video once again if you want, but make sure you understand each and every problem, because many type of problems were covered in it. uh, a few more we can solve in the next class. Okay, so have it a habit to always solve as many MCQs as possible. Only then you can understand the subject better. I hope you have understood the class. We'll stop at this. Thank you.